Hello, Gareth. Lovely to see you today. So this is Gareth Pearce, who is a businessman in construction, and I'm Jennifer Foster, who runs the Energy Dynamic Model Academy, which teaches people how to understand themselves so they have a clear mind and lots of energy and are actually very efficient and effective people. So, Gareth, hello. Today we're going to talk briefly about one of the ideas you use in your business to make sure that you maximize your profits as much as efficiently as you can. So do you want to tell me a little bit about some of the ideas you have on that?
Yeah, like I discussed in the last video, a bit briefly, I do a bit with lean, like lean construction. I've learned it through online YouTube videos. I've been to a couple of seminars in London, where lean construction UK. I've guest speakers from all over. I think there was an American guy discussing stuff on there about it or how they use it. It was mainly people on that course seminar from like the likes of BAM and people like that who are mainly civils, railways, like roads, motorways, bridges,
Okay.
stuff like that. Okay, but like
Yeah.
I said, I came in there my background is new build housing, so I told them how I done a bit of a talk about how I use it in my company, and lean really is just trying to cut down all the wasteful activities in business. So where you're losing money, how you can be more efficient.
Okay, because that's quite an interesting point, isn't it? Because a lot of the time when people are running businesses, they're just looking at how much money they can make. They're not often looking at how much money they could save. And the way you can save money is by cutting out of all your wasteful activities, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and that could be like I said. The driving side of things, people picking up material in the morning, having a cup of tea there, having a chat in the merchants or whatever, instead of going straight to site, get the material delivered, get the guys then working on price, to giving them an incentive to work harder, and also regular inventory checks as well by your supervisor. So things like that will cut down your material. And then quality control is a massive one. Quality control your first fix, so you don't have any issues later on down the line. Get it signed
Right.
off by the site manager, and that's just being a subby, I like you guys discussed before. I've started up a building company, and I'm so keen on the pre-construction side, getting the guys together, getting a plan, getting the most efficient plan you can, really, to sort of maximize everything. So there's no buffer days, there's no waiting time, there's no questions being asked. So you've got to wait for them answers to come back. Try and
Right.
get every single thing answered before you start. I have started doing it from now, like literally now, this year. Um, uh, like doing it with the plumbing side, like having a pre-start, getting a pack together, getting all the issues out the way, how we're going to run the pipe work in, how we've done our packs. If you don't do it this way, you're not going to have enough material. Yeah, getting the prices for the boys to do the job more efficiently. Yeah, just looking at the whole thing really as to be as efficient as you can. And you can use that in any business. It doesn't matter what you do. Just try and maximize your profits by being more efficient, cutting down the buffer days, cutting down the non-profit sort of motion and work, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a massive thing which I could probably go on about for ages, but the main thing is just looking at one, planning before you start, two, supervision, quality control, and handing over them houses or whatever, or handing over a product with no snags, with no defects. And like I said in the last video, you're gonna have defects because of manufacturing. Something might break down, so you will have to have that. But so to come up with a deal with the manufacturer, sorry, where you can say to them, look, how much warranty? What happens if something breaks down? If we've got to fix it, do we get paid for it? Whose fault is it? Blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, just try and do everything which adds value then. You know what I mean? So you're not doing anything for nothing. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's that in a nutshell.
So it's really looking at what you're doing, what your staff are doing, looking at what the customer wants, and taking a good deal of time before you start anything to make sure that it sounds to me almost like, going to having a war or something, when you need to know the strategy, you need to know what the strategy is.
But perfect analogy. Like I said, probably it's my favourite documentary. It's about the Thai football team trapped in a cave. I must have told thousands of people this, right? It's the best documentary. And what they did in the end, they had the Navy and the armies and from all over the world, and the Americans then came up with like a nuts and bolts strategy, they said. So they came up with everything, risk analysis, what could go wrong, what does good look like, what happens if this happens, every single thing they planned, so they knew what they were going into, and it was a massive risk. And honestly, God, if anyone wants to be motivated to do that type of stuff and plan and stuff, it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. It's so on like edge of seat stuff, and how they've done it with normal people, and that shows you don't have to be a Navy SEAL to be a specialist in something else, something like that. It's humbling. It's brilliant documentary, and that's what they done. The army really came up with all the strategies, but the specialists come up with, this is
the solution.
Possible, this ain't possible.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Like I said, you've just
great.
That was perfect analogy. So
good. Yeah, good. So when you're approaching your construction business job, whatever it is, you need to approach it like, okay, we're going in here, and this is what we want to achieve, and let's look at a strategy so we can look at all the things that might go wrong or whatever, and make sure that we've got something there to minimize that risk, and look at, as you were saying before, all the wasteful time management, like getting all your things in one go rather than going backwards and forwards.
You are going to learn off each job, don't get me wrong. It's some unforeseen stuff, but like you said, you could plan for that. What happens if this happens? What if we come across, like someone said the other day, that we came across rock when we were doing all the groundworks? Plan for that. Right? You never will be able to price for that, maybe, but maybe put something in there that if we come across this, or if we come across that, because it's not on your geographical report or whatever, like, do you know what I mean, on ground investigation reports, surely that's got to be allowed for maybe further down the line. But like I said, it's just having that plan really of how you can like deal with the things when they do arise as well. So you are going to come across things, there's no some buts about it, but if you can minimize those, you're not going to eliminate them, maybe not, but it's
I remember when I first started running a business, I had a party business, and when I first started to do them, I used to do some of them in old people's homes. I used to just turn up with my mic and whatever and do it. But one time when I did that, my battery ran out, so the next time I turned up, I made sure I had spare batteries. And then another time I turned up, someone accidentally spilt a can of Coke over one of my like sound systems or something. So next time I did it, I made sure that wasn't there. And over about 6 months, I my van was full of almost everything I could possibly need, and it was much better. But I learned that by it failing. And I remember one place I went to didn't actually pay me because they wanted me to sing around 2 different people, and they were on 2 different floors. And because it took me so long, they said, you know what, you were so rubbish, we're not paying you. And that was fair enough. So next time
that's quality, isn't
it? The next time, but I hadn't asked the right questions. I hadn't asked, is this gig I'm doing only on 1 floor? So I ended up having a big checklist of questions to ask, and I guess that's very similar.
Very similar, 100%. And you, like you just said then about when you're rubbish and you're not performing, I'm the first one to say, if we've got defects, I want to learn off them, or snags. I want to learn off them. Like I said last year, was to get the job done, whatever happens. And that's unlike us, or me as well, as a company, and how I set it up. But I was under so much pressure from everywhere. Yeah. I had to get the job done. And that's why I've said now this year is going to be quieter, and we're going to set up all my management and everything will understand exactly how we want to run it. Like we got a meeting tomorrow at 1:00, and we are going to be touching on efficiencies and systems and how bringing in like tablets and stuff like that for each of our teams. Right. So it might be 10 tablets I got to pay out for, but everything's going to be on them. Yeah, and I'm learning off companies like Weights. They got a brilliant system out there where everything is on the system on the tablet. Everything's on there. You know what I mean? And if I can do that as a company as well to help that cause and bring that into other companies, everyone will become more efficient, you know. And
it's all about looking at the system with looking at the system and efficiency. Well, it's been lovely talking to you, Gareth. We've touched on a few interesting points there, and we will continue. So thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Cheers, Jen. Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Bye.